Super Mario 3D Land, another Mario game that is on the 3DS, and I believe that it was the first one released on the system. This is another game that you absolutely must have. It's a great addition to this whole franchise. I absolutely love it. However, it doesn't offer any internet play. In fact, it only offers Street Pass, which is not really that big of a deal. I mean, honestly, this is just such an amazing game. I really cannot tell you how spectacular it really is. I could not imagine anybody having a 3DS and not having this game. And I know I've actually read that it really doesn't have a lot of replayability and that the levels go by really quickly. However, there are a whole set of post-game worlds, which is a whole nother 8 worlds. So it really does offer a lot more than people might think. And even though those post-game worlds are basically harder versions of the originals, there is so much added to those post-game worlds that they really feel brand new on their own. So, I mean, in total, you have about 16 worlds to go through. And I'm actually still currently working on it, and I've had this game almost since the beginning, since it's come out. So this is just another game that I absolutely enjoy, and it is a must-have for a 3DS owner. Steel Diver. This is the other title that I picked up with the purchase of my 3DS, and I guess I'm just going to go through this one pretty quickly because that's all it requires. You're basically the captain of a submarine, and you have to go through all these little levels, and it does also have these smaller mini-game kind of stuff going on in this game, so it does, you know, provide a little bit more than just the main story. But I mean, other than that, this is a game where you can really beat in just a matter of a few hours, if not just an hour. However, I actually would have recommended this game at launch, but now that the 3DS has been out so long, this is probably not a game I would really recommend. I believe it is still at full price. I'm not 100% sure, and I definitely know it is not worth that much. It is not worth $40. I would probably have this game go for $19.99 and no more, but I mean, that's just me. It does offer download play, and that is all, so not even Street Pass or Spot Pass are in it or anything like that, but a game like this really does not require anything more than just a few short hours of interesting submarine play. So at this point in time, I probably would not recommend this game, but I honestly really did enjoy it at the time being. But yeah, that is Steel Diver, and that is pretty much it. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 3D. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This game is just absolutely amazing. This was actually my first-person shooter, and I honestly absolutely loved it. But I'm going to start with the only thing that I have against this game, which is the short story. There are not many missions involved in this game, but for the price it is at now, which I believe is only $17.99 used, it is absolutely worth it. And if you have any interest in spy or first-person shooter games, you absolutely have to have this game. I loved everything about it. I love the whole idea of stealth and, you know, kind of creeping up on your enemies, and I really thought that was a very innovative idea. Now, I know this game was released pretty early into the life of the 3DS, so that is pretty awesome to know that. And another thing, though, it doesn't offer any other features like online or download play. But I mean, it really isn't that big of a deal because this is a very personal game. It really is a single-player kind of game, so I mean, it really doesn't require much more than that. I mean, that's just how I feel. But like I said, it does have a really short story, but for the price that it is listed at, it is absolutely amazing. So I recommend this game to anybody that has a 3DS and is interested in spy and or first-person shooters. Transformers Dark of the Moon Stealth Force Edition. Now, emphasis on Stealth Force Edition, and that is the biggest complaint that I have about this game, which is the fact that you can only play it in vehicle mode. So, I don't know what to really say about that. I don't know if people like that about a game or dislike it. Personally, I don't like it at all. I am a huge fan of the Transformers series, and I honestly found this game to be quite a disappointment. I bought this game way back in July, and I still have not finished it because I have had no motivation to go back and play it. And considering the fact that it is in vehicle mode, it just makes it so much more difficult to try and beat. Right off the bat, this game is extremely difficult. You have to be able to handle a car, you know, use its speed and its power all at the same time, which may not seem like a big deal, but the things that you are put up to finish, as in mission-wise, are just insane. Right from the first level, I found this game to be absolutely crazy. And I've only gotten past just a few missions before I just kind of set it down. So I don't know whether I should finish playing it or return it. I mean, I'll probably just keep it to be part of my collection. And I mean, it really is enjoyable when you know what you're doing, but when you just feel completely lost and you just have to go through each level so many times, you may not feel that great about the game. So I mean, if you are a fan of the Transformers series, you are probably the kind of person that absolutely must have every game that is released for the movie franchise. But I mean, this is actually one that I probably would not recommend, even if you are a fan like me. So I mean, that's really all there is to it about the game. You're just going through the game playing at some point as an Autobot and at some point as a Decepticon. So, I mean, that's really all there is to it, trying to work against either side. So, it really is just a straight-up shooter kind of combat game. And I mean, if that's what you're into, and you're really into that kind of challenge, then go ahead and get it if you don't already have it. But if you notice this game and don't have it, and you do have interest in it, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to pick it up, but I'm just saying that I really did not enjoy this game. But yeah, that's pretty much Transformers Dark of the Moon Stealth Force Edition. And lastly, we have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Now, I'm completely aware that any owner of a 3DS probably has this game, especially if you are one of those huge, long-time Zelda series fans. Now, this is actually the first game I've ever had the chance to play in the Zelda series, so it really is quite an experience to have this be the first game you play. Now, this is a remake of the original game, and I believe it actually has been remade a few times, and I definitely feel that this is the best one when taking a look at all of them. The features in this game are really awesome, even though it doesn't involve internet and spot pass and street pass and all of that, but that's not what I mean. I'm talking of the in-game features. This game is packed with such enriched detail and gameplay. It really is not a game, like I mentioned with other games, this is not a game that you can just beat in a day. I mean, unless of course you have had experienced this game in the past, you know, with the originals. But as a first-time player of this game, I still have not beaten the game or gotten past the main story, and this is a game that I bought back in July, and I am still working on it. The only thing, the one and only thing, in fact, that I actually have against this game is the fact that this is another one of those games where I tend to get stuck at certain points. And when I get stuck, I tend to put it down for a while, and that is exactly why it's taking me a while to defeat this game. So you really can't blame me for being, you know, a first-time player of Zelda, getting stuck, so don't make fun of me because of that. But once I figure out what I'm doing, it's not really that hard, and it really is just such an amazing game, and I'm actually really looking forward to future Zelda games, especially on the 3DS. So yeah, even if you are new to this game, I highly recommend this game. So, therefore, that is the end of my collection of 3DS games, and I'm really looking forward to building that up as the future comes. And that is about it, and thanks for watching.